1B was the next to go onto the water, and it ran without incident. An excellent boat race between Steve David in lane 1 in the Oh Boy Oberto and Greg Hopp in the LDB Dodge. They thundered into the first turn side by side. At the exit pin, Hopp was right beside Steve David, and that's the way they came down the backstretch in front of the Detroit Yacht Club the first time. Steve David able to use the inside to an advantage that built up over the next 2 laps and gave him a lead over Greg Hopp. But a very close boat race between those two, with Steve David taking first place, Greg Hopp finishing second. It was Mark Tate in Miss Chrysler Jeep running third, and Ken Muscatel fourth in the U25 Bell Forklift. 2A, it was a battle for lanes here in the 2004 Gold Cup in Detroit. No lanes assigned. Dave Villwalk, as he has done so many times in Miss Budweiser, managed to get the inside, and that was pretty much the story of this heat. Right beside him at the start, J.W. Myers in the Lumar window film made a good start and challenged through the first turn, but could not keep up with the red boat, who walked away with Heat 2A. Third place went to Nate Brown driving the U10, sponsored by the Detroit Yacht Club, M-Corps, and Dick Scott Automotive here in Detroit. Mark Tate in Miss Chrysler Jeep, the U2, had the engine go sour later in the heat and would finish a distant third, as J.W. Myers would have even worse luck. The fire went out aboard the U8 Lumar window film, a DNS and no points for J.W. So score 40 more for Dave Villwalk, 30 points for Nate Brown, and 23 for Mark Tate in the running of Heat 2A. Heat 2B, the big story as the boats pulled onto the water. One of them was indeed Terry Troxell in a repaired Miss Elam Plus, brand new tail feathers, and that was just about all he lost in his accident earlier. The cowling obviously badly damaged. We would wait to see how much difference that would make. As the boats approached the start-finish line at the beginning of Heat 2B, 2 of them got over the line too soon. Steve David in the Oh Boy Oberto and Terry Troxell in Miss Elam Plus jumping the gun. They appeared to be first and second coming out of the first turn. Indeed, they were third and fourth after the illegal start. The beneficiary, Greg Hopp, in the U100 LDB Dodge, running third on the water. First, actually, as far as the official scores are concerned, and that's where he would finish. Second place, going to the boat, running fourth on the water, Ken Muscatel in the U25 Miss Bell Forklift. So not much drama after the start once things were sorted out. Terry Troxell, the apparent leader, actually finishing third and picking up third place points. Fourth going to Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto. Assigned lane 1 in Miss Elam Plus. A repaired boat after the earlier incident, new tail feathers, a repaired cowling, and he would be in lane 1. Ken Muscatel in the black U25 Bell Forklift, assigned lane 2. Nate Brown in the U10 Dick Scott Auto presents Miss DYC in lane 3, and Dave Villwalk, the defending national champion in the U1 Miss Budweiser, out in lane 4. At the start, it was Terry Troxell in lane 1 making a great start. Villwalk did also on the outside, and those two would be the leaders as the field came through the big sweeping Belle Isle turn and onto the backstretch for the first time. It was Villwalk giving chase, Troxell leading throughout the running of Heat 3A. And that's exactly the way they finished. Terry Troxell earning 40 very valuable points for his first place finish. He needed them. Dave Villwalk 30 points for second place. Third would go to Nate Brown in the Dick Scott Auto Miss DYC. Problems for Ken Muscatel in the U25, needing only to finish to pick up fourth place points. Problems in the engine, a small fire, and he did not finish. No points scored for Ken Muscatel.